Good morning, Oracles. Well, we've got Tesla pushing up and testing that 935 level pre-market. So we're going to see how we open today. I'm assuming we're going to see this little bit of a gap up. It's kind of what we've been seeing. We now have a gap down to 901 as well. Still all good signs, still on this upward trend. So what I'm going to be paying attention to today, as I said yesterday, is where are we going to be hitting that 935 mark, may bounce off, may break through, and then 950 will be the next test. So very exciting stuff going on today. Again, Vinny and I will be on later today. It'll be 5:15 Eastern time to go over the entire annual shareholder meeting. We'll play the entire thing live here and then we'll react to it afterwards. Otherwise, today I'm going to go over the top questions that we have from retail investors for the annual shareholder meeting. Kind of go over these, see what Elon may have cooking up based upon these questions, and then I'll get your guys' feedback on them and what you guys think. So the very first question, the top voted question, is when will the stock split be? Personally, I think this is a terrible question because we're either going to find out tonight anyway when they announce the vote results, or they're going to find out, within the next few days. Tesla's usually pretty quick on this. So judging by last time, it was like 3 days later they announced it, and then 3 weeks later we got the split. So again, most people are anticipating end of August, beginning of September. So honestly, I think this is a wasted question, and I'm kind of upset about the fact that it's top voted, but we'll find out very soon when that will be. The next question is, how does Tesla intend to utilize cash in the coming few years? Will Tesla increase capex, share buybacks, dividends, or acquisitions? So this is something that they did answer back in the Q2 earnings call. Zach had mentioned that they do have so many projects that they are working on that dividends and buybacks are kind of down the road a little ways. So I know we've talked about it on here with buybacks, and I still think that they can do it. So maybe this is, a dividend thing. I think definitely later on. Maybe buybacks, I don't know. I think it really depends on what they do have for free cash flow coming in. When it comes to acquisitions, that I don't know. I know I've spoken with some of you on here, and maybe they buy Idra. Again, the machine that makes the machine that makes the machine sounds like a good, reasonable purchase that they could make. Whether they want to go that route or not, I don't know. But I mean, that would go along with their vertical integration. When it comes to capex spending, they have already said that they have increased from $5 to $7 billion per year to $6 to $8 billion per year. So I don't know if they went up on that because the costs of things went up, or if there's other plans that they have that are out there. But either way, their capex spending right now is about $6 to $8 billion. And if, looking at the fact that that was the same way for when they had the two factories for Berlin and Austin up and running to get those started, perhaps they're looking at another two factories if they're going to continue this going forward, and they've already factored that all in with factories and expansions. The next question is, how many factories are needed to get to 20 million vehicles produced per year by 2030? This, I think, is an excellent question. You can do the math based upon the factories that they currently have. We're looking at, a 2 million output coming from Shanghai, 2 million plus coming from Austin, 1 to 1.5 million coming from Berlin, maybe more. So looking at that, you can kind of make assessments and say, well, if each one is doing between 1 to 2 million vehicles per factory, then you'd need, maybe 10 to 12 factories or so to get there. But maybe there's other expansions, maybe there's other plans. So if they can go into this a little more depth, that would be nice to see. And who knows, maybe we will get new factory announcements tonight as well. And the next question is, when the Cybertruck pricing is released, will all who ordered before it was taken down be grandfathered in or have to reconfigure? When will the pricing be released? So I don't think people are going to get grandfathered in. I mean, it was a low price. Looking at the single motor was $39,000. And not only that, but they have gotten rid of the single motor. It sounds like they're doing a dual motor, a quad motor, and a plaid version. Still uncertain about a tri-motor version of this. So the original configurations don't even exist anymore as they were. So I doubt people are going to be grandfathered in. When it comes to FSD, I sure hope that they do grandfather people into that price. I mean, honestly, it's not a lot, for something that Tesla can do for the customer to do the right thing. I think that would be the right thing as people had locked it in. We'll see how they end up playing it out. And I have a feeling that since they're looking to be releasing the truck and actually having first deliveries coming next summer, we'll probably end up seeing the configurations coming out end of this year or beginning of next year. The next question is, with peak inflation behind us, are you now seeing recession as a challenge sometime in 2023? If yes, beyond layoffs, how is Tesla preparing for it? Well, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, we've talked about it on here before, how getting yourself to a place of, free cash flow coming in, plenty of cash flow generation, a stockpile of cash, and low debt. Basically, what you want to do for your own finances is just that. And that's what Tesla is doing. So they're cutting costs wherever they can. They're getting themselves the stockpile of cash as a safety blanket. They have plenty of cash flow generation coming in, and they've been whittling down on their debt. So if we do end up getting this recession in 2023, Tesla is going to be positioned very well for that. And the next question, how is Tesla viewing the geopolitical risk between the US and China? So again, I know especially the last couple of days, there's been a lot of tensions with Nancy Pelosi going over to visit Taiwan. We've got China doing their, routine training exercises right around Taiwan. So I don't know, from that aspect, but thinking about, you look at Ukraine, and when it comes to Ukraine, there's still plenty of parts of Ukraine that are living life as well as usual. It's business as usual. They're still functioning. It's not every single part of that country is war torn right now. That's just what we see in the media. Now, Russia, being the attacker, is still also basically running business as usual. Of course, we had all the sanctions and everything put on them to make their lives more difficult. So in this situation, China would end up being similar to the Russian situation. So I think China and Tesla have a good relationship right now. I don't think they want to ruin that. So I think that would stay as usual, but it would be very nice to hear Elon's take on that. The next question is, what is the real estate strategy for superchargers and Tesla restaurant locations across the US? So now Rob Maurer just did a great video on this the other day, discussing how there's a lot of different businesses where you can put up charging stations, to bring in more business. They're going to have it set up so that, the business itself can make a little profit off of having a charging station there, and Tesla will make money. So at least on that aspect, from the third party piece of things, it's out there and it's definitely going to be growing. As far as Tesla having their own restaurants, we know that they have one already up and running. Actually, I think it's up and running. I'm not sure if it's finished yet. But they've got that going. Whether they end up doing more or not, I don't know. I personally think, I don't know if that's worth it. We have seen them doing creative things all over the world. Like they have a giant pool that they just put up over in Germany for a charging station there. So I'm sure they're going to do different things because people are charging their vehicle, whether they're going to sit in their car and play on whatever software it is that Tesla provides them, or they're going to go do something at the place that they are charging. Totally different question. So we'll see if Tesla capitalizes on that and utilizes that to their advantage to put up other things that can keep people occupied while they are charging their vehicle. But now realistically, looking down the road, Tesla's ultimate goal is to reduce charging times so you're not sitting there for 30 to 45 minutes charging your vehicle. Ideally, you'd want to bring it down. So if that is the goal, is to bring down the charging time of the vehicles, then spending all of this money to put up a place for people to spend their time at really doesn't make a lot of sense unless it's just for a near-term purpose only. But Tesla putting up a bunch of restaurants just for that purpose doesn't make a lot of sense. Next question is, when will the Semi be available? So we've already heard about it before, should be available next year. Haven't had a lot of news coming out about this recently, so maybe we will get a little more insight on this. I highly doubt they're going to give us any specific dates. It'll be similar to what they said about Cybertruck, and they'll say by the end of next year we should start production on it. That's my guess. Next question is, what impacts will the upcoming EV tax credit for 2023 have on demand and pricing for Tesla vehicles? Now, I know we've discussed it on here and I've heard a lot of discussions on this. Is Tesla going to come down on prices? Is Tesla going to go up on prices because they have a little more buffer room? How are they going to configure their vehicle pricing based upon all the levels that they have for the EV tax credit? I think part of it's going to come down to what is the final bill going to look like as compared to what we currently know it in its form. Sounds like the Senate should be voting on this tomorrow, so maybe we'll get some more insights on that. So we know that Elon has said that the prices right now for the vehicles are embarrassingly high. So we know that he's looking to bring the prices down. The EV tax credit itself will initially bring the prices down, so that will help people. So when it comes to demand, if Tesla does start to bring prices down on vehicles, depends on how quickly they bring it down, because that in itself could slow demand down. If Tesla brings prices down, people can be like, ooh, I don't want to order yet if Tesla is starting to bring prices down, because I will wait until they bring prices down even further before I place my order. So at this point, maybe by the end of the year, they could squash some of the demand by actually lowering prices rather than increasing prices. So lots of different things to factor out there, and you never know how people are going to react to this when they change the pricing one way or the other, because it seems like right now, every time Tesla goes up on prices, it's not really changing the demand at all, and demand keeps on going up. And when you get an EV tax credit, that just basically lowers the prices down automatically, which in turn will increase demand even more. So maybe Elon will give us insight as to which way they do plan on going with this. And the last question I will go over is the new master plan ready? What will Tesla focus on for the next 5 to 10 years? This is something that, obviously we spoke about it before. Elon has hinted at the fact that they are working on it. Perhaps we get that tonight. Farzad had mentioned that there's a chance that maybe he does reveal that tonight. So we know that scaling to extreme size is part of Master Plan Part 3. That would include new gigafactories, expansions. So we will hopefully find out about this. I'm interested as well to see what else is included in this. Because thinking about scaling to extreme size, this could be where Optimus comes in the future. How far out does Master Plan Part 3 go? Is he looking 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, longer than that? Is this the final plan? Who knows what's going to happen? So maybe he will delve into some of that tonight as well. So there it is. Those are the top retail questions as of right now that we can have. If you guys want to vote on those questions and upvote them, I will put the link down in the description so you guys can get in there and vote on your favorites. Otherwise, let me know what you guys are thinking we're going to see for the stock price today. Let me know what you are most excited about to see at the annual shareholder meeting and what you guys think Elon is cooking up. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.